What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here. We are back with more Expedition of the Damned, a Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition campaign, hosted by yours truly, and crewed by the gentleman you see before you now. So let's do some brief introductions because we got a hell of a session ahead of us, I'm pretty sure. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be awesome, guys. It's going to be great. Let's start off with Pierce Galactic.
What's going on, everybody? It is once again your friend, Pierce Galactic, playing your favorite character of all time, Wolfram Kistler, the best handgunner ever, who did some devastating damage on some squigs last turn. Very, very happy about that. I don't really have much to say. I kind of want to see if we can get our boys up and running again. So, yeah, I'm going to hand the torch over.
Let's slide on down to Doobie 209.
What's going on, everybody? Play Henry Berthold, a squire who is currently fumbling around in the dark with his best mate, his good time pal, his rotten soldier, Luther Steinhauer.
All right. Speaking of which, Jumbo Smooth.
I'm here as well. I am
He's
Jumbo Smooth. I play Luther Steinhauer. He's an apprentice to the Bright College. He's not a full wizard yet, Harry. So, but yeah, maybe one day, if we make it out of this, the predicament we're in.
It's gonna happen. You'll be fine. It's all fine. How about Dan Decker?
Hey, it's Dan Decker here, playing Monk Throat Leopard as a man-eating ogre who's taken a fancy to these wee humans he's banded about with, and up till now he's broken his arm. He's got a nice wrap around his arm and chain for smashing. He's quite the cook. He's coming for you, Gordon. Yeah, that's right.
He is indeed a cook.
He's good. He's good. He's a good cook. Right now he's not feeling so good though.
We'll be going over that in a moment.
Yeah, we'll be going over that in a moment.
And last but not least, Lucien. Excuse me.
Hey everybody, I'm Nate. I'll be playing Lucien Levesque, a human duelist. Currently traversing the tunnels of this goblin hideout with Wolfram and the ailing Nog, hoping to continue to avoid some traps and find our buddies. It's looking dark at the moment.
Speaking of buddies, Nog, before we get into what is what, you have broken ribs.
Oh, right, yeah.
If you remember, you cracked your ribs, so it's considered a minor break.
Yeah.
However, a minor break to your body means that you are going to suffer for body, it's your strength, mobility. Okay. Your body is severely limited right now. You will suffer a -30 to your strength and agility characteristic
What, dude?
until they are healed.
You've broken my body. Now you will break my spirit.
You are quite hurt, my friend. You are quite hurt, in pain. I forgot to do that last time for Henry. Should have done it. Missed opportunity.
You feel like you have
I think
power
we did
over
mine
me.
for agility. I don't know if we did it for body.
It's
strength.
for both. The body shot is pretty. It sucks really bad, and your movement speed is halved. There's also that.
Yeah,
Enjoy
I would
not.
definitely do that.
Enjoy not. I'm not feeling too good. But before
You say my agility and my water down by 30.
so your strength and agility characteristics are at a -30.
Jesus.
Which
means
your
my
strength is what
agility
you
is
used to hurt
nothing
people with.
now. My agility is 0 because I have a 34,
Yep, you ain't moving fast now.
and I'm half as strong. Broken ribs will do that shit to you, though. I know. I've had broken ribs, so this is accurate.
With that out of the way, last we left off, the crew has found themselves in quite the predicament as you had set out on a minor quest, one might say, at the request of Otto Steimler, the knight of Henry Berthold, his young squire, to investigate the possible location of the missing knights from the expedition that were lost at sea. In particular, the commander of said knights, Dieter Hellwig, was supposed to be amongst the number not found. And with the rumors coming in from travelers leaving Kofor, fleeing the besieged city, raided by foul greenskins, rumors of these a small contingent of armored Imperials riding horses reached the ears of Henry, and all of you decided that this was going to be the first priority you were going to make in Lashik as you were attempting to rebuild the resources of the expedition at large. You were joined by a contingent of slayers, led by a, not necessarily led, but followed by Thorgrim Cragbender, who was a massive, more rippling muscled dwarf than the others, which is saying quite a bit, with the cape of a giant's face in tanned leather that he wore about his shoulders, and made for excellent companionship on the road. One would say no one would fear. You guys would not be afraid of being robbed or anything of the sort, with a full contingent of Dawi at your side, certain to seek their own crazed deaths and their bizarre rituals. You made your way out on to the trail leading, or not the trail, the road. And it's not so much like a cobbled road. It's more of just a well-worn path at this point between Lashik, the city of Corsairs, and Kofor, hoping to find these knights along the way. You, however, ran across some feisty individuals that laid claim to vast swaths of the territory around the large Atlan mountain range that shields the coast that you are on from the harsh desert winds that lie in the true sands of Araby. In fact, you found out that the Sand Sneakers, as they are known, led by the mighty Snoskit, have not necessarily, if they did not have quarrel with you, at some point they decided they did, and really wanted your stuff and probably to eat you, and thus have been harrying your party for quite some time. Maybe it was the dwarves accompanying you, longtime enemies. Maybe it was just the stuff you had about that they got away with the first night. Regardless, though, a rather elaborate ambush was set after they'd left you alone for a few days. Things were getting on edge, and young Henry and his faithful horse, whom I don't remember the name of, it's not quite important anymore, fell into a pit of death, which slowed the expedition down, allowing the Night Gobos to spring a quick ambush, launching a single volley of arrows against the party, against everyone, before unleashing a ravenous horde of cave squigs that were unleashed upon the party. Swarm of squigs battering the expedition, dragging down the majority of your Dawi companions. We're looking at somewhere around 50, 60 squigs, plus the arrows. It was a lot. It was a lot. Henry was captured in the process, as well as Luther, as you guys were fighting your way out of the squig horde, with both of them being captured and drugged down into the pitfall trap and sequestered away into the tunnel systems that these gobos have obviously laid out throughout this area. The rest of you, Nog, Henry, and Nog, Lucien, and Wolfram, had found yourselves after a intense fight, recovering with what was left of the slayers, looking for your companions, when a horn blast echoed from the mountainside, almost like that of a mighty conch, perhaps, being blown. And a creature rose from the waves, immensely large, gigantic, four-armed, scaled creature of mighty proportions emerged. The Slayers gave their oaths and were going to seek their final deaths, buying you time to flee from what inevitably would be a massacre. You chose to take the tunnel systems that the squigs had burst through. It was quite a large opening that had opened up on the other side of a nearby kind of like embankment where they came up over the top of. Wide enough for Nog to get through, which was the most important thing. Nog is somewhere around a little over 10 feet tall, and he probably weighs about 1,000 pounds. He needs a large tunnel if he's going to be going anywhere. The rest of you might be able to shimmy your way through a Gabo tunnel, but Nog ain't going. So this was your best bet to get all of you there. You made your way down below, only to find the tunnels led to a hive of tunnels, and seemingly seeking refuge at random, just trying to find some way to hopefully get in touch with your companions before anything too terrible happened to them. You ran afoul of several traps. The first one you were able to somewhat disarm, slightly. The second one, not so much, as a large piece of the large kind of cavern that you were in broke free after springing a tripwire, with Wolfram and Lucian able to dodge out of the way. Nog not so lucky, as he was hit dead in the chest with this massive piece of stone that probably weighs as much as him, attached to a large chain from the ceiling, dealing him significant injury, cracking his ribs and laying him low. At the same time, elsewhere in the cavern systems, Henry and Luther were stripped of all their belongings and were tied in a small cave room, being guarded by several night goblins, with them being tied to these large stakes in the ground, in complete darkness. Luther decided he was going to make flame in his hand, illuminate the area. He's going to try to get out of these. You need to get out of these ropes. He needs to be free. He needs to be loose. Unfortunately, he didn't do so well at first, and alerted the Gabos to his presence. They were having great conversations about possibly eating pieces of them, since Snosket has decided he needs at least one of them alive to sell back to the Raddies. Who knows what that might entail. But regardless, though, they had the bright idea of just eating some of Luther's hands at this point to strip him of his magical power, because that's what they think it gives him magical power. They don't know anything. This little crazed night gobbo down here, they don't know nothing. This weird shaman making fire in his hands. Well, at this point, Luther started to panic, and he produced flame finally. It happened. Bright light swarmed forward, blinding his captor, allowing Henry the time to flex and bust out of his bonds. And in doing so, able to clobber and destroy the Gabo, taking his rusty dagger, freeing Luther, and the two of them fleeing somewhere in the cave system as well. And that about brings it up to snuff, unless anybody has anything else to add that I may have forgotten.
I spent a fate point. So that means I have 2 fortune?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I also spent a resilience. So does that mean I have 1 resolve?
You should have, if you had 3 resolve, and now you have 2, you had 3 resilience, now you have 2 resilience.
Yes.
So you have
Yes.
you still have 2 resolve. The resolve and the fortune equal
They
their
always
counter.
have to match each other.
Yeah, they equal their counterparts. Now you can get certain talents that give you extra, but I don't think any of you have any of those. I don't think. So, yeah.
All I have.
Welcome to where I'm at, bro.
Thank you.
I would like to note my objection to your characterization of the goblins leaving us alone for a few days,
It's true.
and interject that they send volleys of arrows at us every night while we
You're
slept.
right. You're right. I think the last night they didn't do it though. The night before the trap, they didn't do it.
That was considerate of them.
Yeah,
It was
considerate.
very
Exactly.
nice.
They were busy setting up the ambush.
There you go. There you go.
Digging a
There you
pit.
go. There we go. Yeah, they're digging that pit out there. Well, there we go. So we are going to pick up. Let's pick up with Henry and Luther, because this is going to be imperative on how this kind of goes. Henry and Luther, you were somewhat discovered after you made quite the mess, destroying a gobbo in the process of trying to flee. This is where, well, you know what? Let's tackle one problem first before I get to you guys. So Nog is at 0 wounds, and he's currently prone and can't get up.
He has broken ribs.
He has broken ribs. You have a single resolve point, Nog, but if you don't want to use that, Lucien's with you. Do you want to attempt to quickly patch Nog up to at least give him some hit points back to get him up? Or wounds, excuse me.
I can try that. I can try that first.
Yeah, go ahead and give me that first, because I want to enter into a great scenario I have set up.
Oh, jeez.
I hope it's a skill challenge.
It may be a skill challenge.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I'm not in the best shape for that.
Favorite part of this game.
All right. Attempt to heal test here. That's a good one.
Wow, impressive.
That's 3 rolls of success.
Wow.
Okay.
That's,
Plus your intelligence bonus. So how much does
Oh, that's right.
back?
That would be, and that's just my straight bonus. That doesn't
Just
allow
the-
us to suffer any fatigue.
No, just what your normal
you rolled a
bonus is.
6.
I did.
That's amazing.
It's normally a 3, or it is
Yeah,
3.
very
Three.
good.
So you'll get 6 wounds back, Nog.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Nog
Nice.
feels much better now.
Lucien kind of runs over to you as you're just laying there like, oh! He begins to try to stabilize your large bulk, enough to at least get you up and moving. Which is then going to bring me into the skill challenge. This is happening. We're having 2 separate skill challenges. This is going to be great, guys. Simultaneously,
I'm
2
so
separate
excited.
skill challenges. We'll see how it goes. So, we're going to start with Henry and Luther. You guys are currently fleeing. The night gobbos are on your tail. They know you're there. You have no idea where the hell you guys are at. So, because there's only 2 of you, I only need 4 levels of success to pass this scenario. That's all I need. I just need 4. Which means you guys, it depending on what skills you pick, you could probably pass this in 1 roll. Who knows? So, let's go ahead and start with, I'll just go clockwise. No point in even rolling initiative on this. Henry. Let's see what you got, Henry.
So we're running in the dark. Goblins are behind us.
They are.
Technically, Luther has, I believe I still have my flame.
He does. He has his flame lit in his hands, which is the only thing, because you have no light sources. There was dim luminescence from some fungal growth at certain points. But currently you guys are just running in a random direction. You have no idea where you're at.
Well, I guess I would be trying to look or listen for
Okay.
any source of light that I think might be the way out.
Okay. go
Or
ahead and
trying to avoid directions that I hear goblins coming from.
So you want to use perception?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception roll, please.
Perception and leadership are very similar. Oh, it's a failure by
Yes.
is it within? No, it's one level of failure.
One level of failure. And
Not within chance for me to use.
do you want to re-roll it, or you good with it?
I'm gonna be good with it for now because I'll see what Luther has available.
Henry, it is as you are
Oh,
trying
are
to
we
listen.
exhausted?
If
We have
you
exhaustion?
hit 0, you have 1 fatigue condition. You
Okay,
should.
So then it'd be 2 levels
Okay, 2 levels of failure.
because
Love
I
it.
did get
Love it, Henry.
knocked out.
Okay. Luther's flame in his hand it's almost like it dulls down so certain points, almost like a flickering candle. And between the low light and the cacophony of gobos screaming, "Stop there! The humans escaping! Get him, boys! Tell Snosket, we'll bring the heads this time!" As there's shouts echoing down the corridors from many different directions. It's hard to tell what is happening. You were just running in a panic.
This way, Luther. This is the way out.
Luther, it is your turn. Skill challenge, my friend.
Gosh, I'm looking over my character sheet trying to figure out what to do.
See what you got.
I will. Oh gosh. Can I? This is a stretch. So
Any
if I can't-
any skill is appropriate. Let's see what you got.
If I can't, I understand. I'll choose something else. Can I try to make my magical flame brighter?
Sure.
Okay.
Give me a spell casting check.
Fuck.
One of the worst critical fails you can have, Luther.
I know,
99.
I know. I'm gonna re-roll it.
No, leave it. Come on.
No, don't re-roll that one.
No,
Boy.
I like that roll. That's a good
I
one.
couldn't tell if it was a 6 or a 9 there. I was like, oh, either way, it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, you put Chris Galactic right there.
29.
That's a little better. That is, let me count here. 2 levels of success.
2 levels of success. Not bad. You know, you have 2 degrees of failure, 2 degrees of success. You guys just need 2 more to win, to get out of this scenario successfully. You have 2 more to fail to end up in a bad situation. So there is that. Awesome, guys. Actually, no, it's 4 more if you get 4 more degrees of failure.
Okay.
So, Luther, you take some of the fire that you had lit in your hand. No, I think you did. You actually made a small torch with it. You took some of the splintered wood.
Yeah.
So
I want to hit someone with it.
you take it and you pull some of the flame back into your hand, and so you have like you're double fisting it right now. You've got the little torch, and you've got a little flame lit in the other hand. You're like, oh, I don't know if that's the right way, Henry. As you illuminate some of the path, and the path that Henry's trying to take you, you as soon as you brighten the way, Luther, you see that there is a large section of the ceiling that is missing. And as Henry goes to step forward, you look up, Luther, and you see that there are a wide array of spikes on some kind of almost like a crisscrossing wedge of either steel or some kind of stone. And it looks like this is some kind of spike trap that will crush and pierce you to death should you come down this tunnel in particular. And you manage to avert Henry from taking said tunnel and entering into an early demise. All right, so that brings me
Henry,
to...
wait!
Henry, wait, it's this way! So you lead him to the other tunnel. At the same time, now we flip over to the other party. The three of you, Wolfram, you're kind of taking point as Lucian quickly patching up Nog after receiving the brunt of the trap that was triggered. You guys are in a much larger cavern. You do hear the echoing voices of Gabos. You don't see any light, any like torchlight or anything like that. You're not sure where your other party members may be, but you do hear that there might be Gabos coming in your directions as well, as they heard the loud crash of the trap being triggered. So I'm going to start with Wolfram.
I would like to see if I can nimbly, as I hold my rifle, but nimbly kind of sidestep across the floor to get in a better angle so I can see my boys, but shoot at whatever noise and do an athletics check.
Okay, sure, no problem. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
We got some new dice, so I want to try them out too. You know, I really love
feeling that's not good. Points. Yeah, go ahead and use your fortune points. 73 is not going to cut it.
Okay. Here we go. Let's just get this out of the way. Oh, that's
wow.
4 levels of success.
4 levels of success? Very good. Very good, Wolfram. Wolfram, you're able to, you see everything happening. You see that you hear voices coming from a particular tunnel, and you scamper up some of the stalagmites and kind of get a better vantage point to see through it. When you do so, you notice that you're slightly above eye level at this point, at least Gabo eye level, so they may or may not see you coming, leading for a advantageous position. All right, that will bring me then to the big Nog. How would you like to aid in the skill challenge, Nog?
Sorry, it took me a minute there.
You're good.
I'm patched up thanks to the good Lucian, and we're making our way. What are we going?
It's up to you guys. Whatever you want to do. Currently, you guys need to pass the skill challenge, or something bad will happen. So
right,
just give me. You tell me what skills you would like to use, and we will work it in.
Well, jeez. My best chance would be endurance.
Okay. All right.
Something we can do with that.
Sure. Roll me an endurance check. We'll see how you do.
All right.
Now, is endurance strength based?
Endurance.
Is it toughness based?
It is. Yeah.
Good. That's a thumbs up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just making sure.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So let's do that. Here comes that test. Come on. Hey, right under the money. That's
okay. This is a success.
Is a success.
Okay. Well, you get a 5 degree success then. So what I'm going to
I get a 60 on that. So.
What I'm going to equate this to, Nog, is Nog. Even after being patched up by Lucian, you sit up and you begin to prepare yourself. You take your first step and you feel one of your ribs floating around inside your torso, and you're able to grit your teeth and stabilize yourself, and you're ready to move at a moment's notice at this point, Nog. Which then will bring me to Lucien. What would you like to do, Lucien?
I would probably like to do a perception test, either to see if I can spot anything coming or to spot someplace I might.
Okay. Yeah, you guys are doing 2 separate things. So yeah, go ahead.
Cool.
Perception, Lucien.
That is a. That is 2 off. I'm going to go ahead and spend a fortune point to make that a success.
Okay. So that puts you guys at 6 for that crew. That's good. 6 degrees of success. Everybody's rolling hot over here on the other side. So Lucien, you see Wolfram kind of post up. You see the direction he's moving. As you look that way, you notice that you hear the echoes, and then you hear faintly, Henry, it's not that way, it's this way, coming from a different direction. You're like, huh? And you just very faintly hear the whisper of Luther Steinhauer somewhere, and you look back and kind of clock the direction of where your companions may be. All right. Very good, very good. You guys are close to passing yours completely. That brings me to round 2. Round 2. During this skill challenge, bad things will happen, and you guys will have to survive. So, for my interesting individuals, these other two, a lot depends on these rolls, Henry and Luther. Should you duck down 2 more, you will end up in a very disadvantageous position.
Yes.
Let's start off with Henry.
Henry is starting to lose his cool. He's underground. He's never dealt with goblins before. He's young. He's afraid of the dark. Can I make a cool test?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Try to keep it together. Why not?
Oh god, at a minus 20.
Hey, let's do
Very
it.
bad.
You can do it, bro.
I gotta reroll.
Oh, 63 is probably not going to have
no
it.
choice. I have to reroll that. Oh!
7. Wow.
My goal was a 16.
Hey, that's another degree of success. So
Palms are sweaty.
you only need
Knees
1
weak.
more. Yeah. Henry's starting to freak out. Luther's like, it's this way. It's this way, Henry. All right, and
We're gonna die down here, Luther.
Luther, calm down. It's okay. Luther's sweating as well. He's not exactly a courageous man himself. But Henry, you're able to kind of you begin to pull it together, buckle down. You're like, maybe we'll lose him.
Slap me, Luther. Slap me.
With his burning hand, singes you a little bit, knocks some sense.
Okay.
All right, Luther. It is your turn, Luther. You guys need 1 more degree of success.
Yeah.
Or 2 failures.
Or 2 failures. I would like to. Can I use? I don't know, it really applies. Can I do a cool test?
No, he just did a cool test. You cannot do a cool test.
Well, he's panicking, I'm starting to panic.
It's not happening. He just did a cool test. You have to pick a different skill. That's how this works. I would love to. You can make an endurance test, Luther. You guys haven't done that on your side yet.
Ooh, I'll pass on that. What if I make a dodge test?
Sure.
I don't know how it applies.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Go ahead and make a dodge roll.
You gotta dodge these traps.
Yeah, there you go. Don't fail this one, because I will trigger a trap on you. 7. Dear God, what is happening right now? Are you guys rolling D100s? My
Yes,
God.
That's 4 levels of success, baby.
Yes, it is. Luther, Henry, you kind of slap him across the face. He's like, you see a little singe mark on his cheek.
You said you were of noble blood.
You turn.
See you acting like this, they'll never let you live it down.
You turn, Luther, and as you step, your foot falls through, and there's some kind of trap that you step in. And you're able to, through sheer force of will, you tuck and roll as a scythe slides right where you were, and just comes out of the wall, Indiana Jones style, and you're like, oh, and you pop up, and you're fine. Not only are you fine, but the trap's triggered, so Henry's able to follow you quickly, and you watch as the blade resets itself. And you hear the gobos at this point turning the corner. Ah! And you see the beady little red eyes in the dark as they come around the corner. You flare the light in your hands, Luther, and it blinds them for a moment. Ah! You see him starting to get arrows ready, starting to shoot. And you guys are backpedaling a little bit when the first gobbo gets a little greedy. He pulls out one of his little swords and goes, ah! And as he lunges forward, he triggers the trap that he did not see. And it just cleaves through a vast number of your possible captors that are running towards you, and they just get split into little pieces all over the tunnel you're in. You're and you're able to flee. You're smattered with disgusting gobbo blood, but you have succeeded. Which brings me to our last group over here, Wolfram. Time to make a skill test. It cannot be one that your group has done yet.
Okay. All right. They're not coming in the cavern yet. We don't at this time. It seems like it's safe, right?
It will depend on your skills choice and how you roll. Will depend on how things go.
How's Nog looking? Does he look a little down? Is he looking like maybe he could do some cheering up?
I'm gonna
go over there and I'm gonna kind of get a little close up. Still got my rifle up, but I'm gonna go like, oh Nog, look at you! You're such a beast. What a brute you are! You fall in the hole. You countless squigs try to attack you, yet with your immense strength and your mighty brains, you managed to defeat them all and lift yourself up again with just a little help from Lucian. And I'd like to do a charm test.
Go ahead and give me a charm test.
All right.
Let's see how it goes. Why not?
I just love doing charm tests.
Go for it.
I'd like to use a fortune point.
A 98. Yeah.
I'd like to use a fortune point. I got 2 of them. I mean, I have one.
Go ahead and use your last one. Let's do it.
Yeah. Apparently, perhaps Nog does not think I'm charming. That's
good. That's good.
Was that a 25?
Yeah.
So that's 15. I think that's actually only one success.
One degree
it's a success, but it's one on top of it success. So
yeah. So it's still considered one.
Okay, so, it's one success.
So I'm gonna say you don't necessarily move over to Nog. You kind of just look over to him. You can see that he's trying to rally himself currently. You give him a little pep speech. As you do, you see him
You can do it, bro.
His shoulders flex a little bit, and he looks a little more sturdy than he was before. Great job, Wolf. Great job. You guys are eerily close to passing as well. The next roll might do it. Nog, no pressure. It is your turn. So any skill that has not been done yet by your party, you may use.
I realized you could not hear me.
Yes, I can.
You could not hear me. You can hear me now. Okay. So any skill we haven't used, so I can't do endurance again.
No, because you just did that.
I did endurance. Okay.
Anyone that Wolfram, Lucian, or you have not done, you can use it this point.
Man, Nog really wants to intimidate the rocks, but
you could intimidate the creatures, possibly moving against you if you'd like.
I'd like to try that. Yes.
Now, is intimidation strength based?
It is strength based. That still gives me a 46, which is still better than almost anything else I can try.
You have a very ridiculous intimidate score, so yes, go ahead and make your intimidate roll.
Even at a minus 30,
I know
it's still my best chance.
Let's go and do it.
Come on, dice. Get fucked, dice.
Ooh. It's close. Do you have a fortune point?
What did you have to beat?
It'd be the 46, I bet.
Yeah, it's a 49 against.
You got a 49 against 46. He's 3 shy. If you have a fortune point, if you have not spent it,
I don't know how fortune points work.
You have one fate point, so you have one fortune point.
Yeah.
You can use your one fortune point to succeed this roll.
I think we need to succeed this roll, so I'll just leave that fortune point at a 0.
Okay, so Nog, You bellow outwards after Wolfram just somewhat inspired you in his own way.
Outwards.
And as you scream out, what do you say, Nog? What do you say?
Nog doesn't. He's in a lot of pain, so
Mm-hmm.
it might not be so much as an intimidation as it is, per Wolfram's attempt to charm me. I may have turned in that way and caught a rib, and I'm just
I see.
just a big old painful yell.
So loud the microphone can't even pick it up. I love it. As it bellows, as Nog bellows outwards, this torrential reverberation moves down many of the tunnel systems, and suddenly it gets quiet.
Yeah,
Extremely quiet.
so quiet.
As it does, both Henry and Luther, you hear the rumblings from somewhere. You're like, you're not sure exactly. There's some foul creature down here somewhere. Some large beast is loose. However, the gobos, you hear some of the gobos trying to move past the traps that that you guys had bypassed, Henry and Luther, and you hear them. Go get the boss. Get the boss. We need some more boys. As they scamper away, as you have all passed your skill challenges, and everyone has succeeded. So I will throw my encounter in the trash now, and we'll keep going. All right. Well, with that, as Nog bellows out, Henry and Luther, the ground kind of reverberated for a moment, and you stop, and you hear a strange noise coming from your left. The tunnel that you're in, you're currently almost at like a split, like a Y split, right and left. The noise is coming from the leftmost tunnel, and it sounds like out of tune music, very faint. Like someone doesn't know how to properly play a musical instrument, and they are attempting to. And then, of course, there's the rightmost passage that you have no idea where it goes.
Can we? I know you said it's out of tune instrument. Can we discern the instrument? Or
well, I will say both of you have somewhat noble backgrounds. Do any of you have any musical training?
No.
No? No.
Not me. No.
Okay. So it's hard to tell within the confines of the tunnels that you're in what is what. And you're not even sure how close whatever the source may be. It could be a mile away for all you know, the way sound works down here. It doesn't. What you're asking, it does not sound like Lucien's horrible pan flute that he bought. It does not sound like that. It doesn't. It doesn't sound like that.
Okay.
Luther, I'm not sure why somebody would be playing music down here. Perhaps we should go the other direction.
Very well. You don't have any instruments on your belongings, do you, Henry?
I do not. As you can see, I'm shirtless. Only wearing pants, and you've never seen me play an instrument before.
And he's shredded as fuck. He is shredded.
Is Luther attracted to me?
I'm assuming you both are attracted to each other. Let's be honest.
There's tension there, you know. I mean,
there's tension. You guys played beach ball.
I know. I still remember the beach. Yeah.
Oh, was that the devil just talked to me?
No, throat
damn it, Dan. Oh, Jesus. Anyway.
I'm just commenting on how incredibly handsome we all are, is all.
Yes, thank you. All right, so Are you? So you guys are deciding not to take that tunnel. You're going to take the other one.
Henry is.
What
Henry
you guys
doesn't
want to
know
do?
anything.
Luther, in fairness, Luther's cowardice would probably, probably avoid contact. But
Handsome
the player
but
is
cowardly.
the player is very curious about what the sound is. Luther is pretty cowardly, and he's scared. So, we'll probably follow Henry. If Henry's not going, then Luther probably wouldn't go.
So
I don't want to be thrown into a sack again and beaten.
So, Henry, you begin moving away from the musical tones.
We can take whoever's down there, Henry. I mean, look at your body.
We can take
Built
him.
from marble.
We can take him. We can take him. We can take
Flatter
him.
me, Luther, but I'm feeling quite weak right now.
We can take
And all I
him.
have is this little goblin
We can
shiv.
take him.
Dan, what are you doing, bro?
What is happening?
I don't know.
Oh, what's happening?
That's
I love
all
it.
right.
Normally I like that kind of thinking, like let's just go for it, but I want to survive tonight.
I love it.
Yeah.
As
I'll
Henry,
follow Henry.
as Luther and Henry take the side pass,
Snog adjusting his head. We can
begin
take
to
him.
move.
We can take him.
Wolfram, Lucian, Nog. After Nog's outburst previously, everything went eerily quiet. You hear almost nothing. What would you guys like to do?
Mes amis, I believe I heard our Luther down this corridor here. And I'll point in the direction that I believe I heard Luther.
What? Let us go. We must find them. It will be much safer if we are a larger group. Come on. No, do you agree?
I am large, and we should be a group. There it is.
Okay. As with Lucian's previous very successful roles, you're able to pick out of the multiple, some large, some smaller tunnels in this large cavern that you guys are in. You guys are in a much larger, just open, not necessarily open, but just a large cavern section beneath here, decorated with goblin totems and other somewhat shoddy workmanship of some of the tunnels that you guys have come across, despite the many traps. And you move towards the tunnel system that you heard your companions moving from.
Can we hear the music?
You do not hear any music.
Okay.
As you guys begin to move in that direction, Lucien, or actually anybody, either Wolfram or Lucien or Nog, I really don't care who, need to make me a perception test. I'm not.
I think Lucian might have 1 point more than me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Can I
don't
help?
want me
Can I help
make a
him to
perception
add a
test.
success on it?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can add. So yeah, you can add a plus 10 to your roll, Lucien.
Got it.
You don't want me making that test.
65.
That will be a fail.
Okay.
What
I need Henry and Luther to give me stealth test.
Oof.
That's really bad.
Oh man.
Let's see, Henry.
All right, the goal is a 9. Failed.
Okay, yeah. Lucien, as your Wolfram kind of like also kind of nudges next to you. You begin to use your sharper ears in the gloomy darkness, more reliant on sound than you are your eyes at this point. As you're moving down the tunnel, you start hearing ahead the shuffling of several feet. Probably Luther going, "Oh!" as well as Henry. Be quiet! Be quiet! You hear it reverberating down the tunnel.
You would hear Henry was like, "Ah, Luther, your back muscles.
All
when we
these
get
poor
back to the when we get
tender
back to the
footed
chateau,
people.
you just need to do a couple sets of these.
Yes, yes.
And
I would like that.
That's
Be a little
it.
more shapely, a little. Perhaps some of the women of Lashik would enjoy a night with old Luther.
as
Don't worry, Luther.
Lucian, you just shake your head. You're in foreign territory. There are enemies about, and your two lost companions are commenting on each other's physique quite loudly.
Can I can make this out?
Oh yeah, you can hear it. It echoes. It echoes down the tunnel, which means it's echoing the other way too. So there you go.
Can I start to see the glow of
You do
Luther's
of the torch
flame?
Lucian, are they courting each other? What's going on over there?
Is it burning, ending turning furling?
I believe we should leave it to be between the two of them.
That is a good idea. I will agree.
Is this how love works with humans?
Not a love I am familiar with.
I'll kind of call out softly. Henri, Luther, is that you?
You guys hear it.
My God, Henry, they know our names.
Our names.
These goblins are from Bretonia.
What are you going to do, Henry? Luther?
I pull out my shiv.
Yeah.
Who speaks?
Who speaks?
It's us, your friends. Come
We're
quick.
close enough to hear them.
We must away from this place.
No,
Take off, going forward.
So
Yeah.
you take off, Henry.
them. You're heading toward this.
Yeah, heading towards them.
Henry and Luther move at a quickened pace towards the other
Well,
group.
I'm gonna
it's
move
quick.
towards it.
Oh, it's quick.
Yeah, I mean we're not in a full dead sprint, you know.
I've got my light shining.
Oh, it's a quickened
brightly.
pace, my friend.
The pace is
Looking
quick.
for what you know,
The
2
walls.
levels of fatigue. could
I
get
believe
you.
the word was
Illuminated.
I take off towards them. That was the words that were used.
No, it was more I quickened my step.
It was not.
Lucian,
I
look,
don't
it's
believe
simply
I-
arrived. The lattice. I think he's
Fred-
scared.
As Henry and Luther move forward, they begin. The flame begins to get brighter and brighter. Wolfram,
Right.
Lucian, Nog, are you guys like staying put, or are you moving in that direction as well? Are you like moving towards them?
Nog is following Lucian.
We've already left that first room, right?
Yeah, you guys are already in this tunnel.
Yeah.
So are you going to meet them halfway, or are you guys staying put?
I'm gonna kind of stay put.
Right.
I
Okay.
assume I can kind of see the light.
You see the light beginning to get
Gonna
brighter.
move
And we
yes.
can hear them.
I am gonna focus on the environment around us to try and
Okay.
keep aware for like I don't know, a bunch of gavos or something like that.
Of course.
Oh, bro.
Why don't you go ahead and let me see what my skills are real fast that I can make you roll for. I believe there's one I really want you to roll for. Let's see here. It is going to be. Not that one. How about? Do they really not have just an investigation skill? Am I just losing this? It is. Perception.
I don't know. There's not an investigation.
No, it really isn't.
There's like an investigator class.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. I thought perception kind of.
Yeah.
No, I just don't want you guys to be rolling perception all the time, but it's kind of looking like that's how it's going to work out.
I think that's kind of how they have it set up.
Yeah. Why don't you know what? We'll do something slightly different. Why isn't
It could be intuition. I don't really want you to make me roll that because I'm really bad at it, but
Sure you are.
because it says allows you to get a feel of your surroundings, so you notice when something's wrong, give you a sense when people are behind.
Why don't you give me a survival roll?
Okay. That was a good choice because that's my worst stat because I don't have that one. All right, good. Let's find out. All right, Sigmar upon me. Let's do this. Yeah, that's a huge fail.
Whoa,
That's
yeah.
7.
97.
That was a failure.
You're trying to keep a lookout. Wolfram, you guys have been relatively cautious, especially after Nog was wounded so heavily. And everything, you don't see anything too discerning about the current tunnel you're in, other than the fact that it is shoddy goblin craftsmanship at its best. There's several like these strange looking crossed blades, like totems that are at various points, as well as smears of paint. Some of it red, some of it possibly quite literally shit, depicting different words in Goblin. None of you speak Goblin. You speak basic words, basic language, and none of it's discernible to you. So, Henry, Luther, why don't you guys give me I want to call this a luck roll.
Oh.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to see how lucky the two of you are. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and...
Does Ronaldo find us attractive?
No, Ronaldo does not find you attractive.
Bullshit.
Let's check.
We are going to base this off of a D10 to see how lucky Henry or Luther is. You guys can choose to roll separately, or you can just roll one, and I will... I'm not going to say advantage, but I will give you a bonus to the roll if you roll a single dice.
Yes, I want Luther to roll.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Luther.
D10.
Roll a D10. You want to roll low as opposed to high.
2.
A 2. Very good. Luther. Henry, Luther, you're holding the flame up. You're beginning to move forward. As you do so, you see that a part of the tunnel that you're moving through doesn't quite look right. One of the totems that you've seen lining some of the divergent pathways from this tunnel systems, there's one just in the middle of this passageway for some reason. And it strikes you as odd, because usually they're at intersections. And you just take note of it, and you keep moving forward. Within moments, the light reaches you, Lucy and Wolfram, Nog, and the expedition's all back together.
Right.
We're gonna get out of here. There's goblins everywhere. They're coming for us.
It's all right. Look, we'll get out of here. It's
You know the way
fine, my
out?
friend. A little nervous, I can see you are.
As long as you know the way out, can we please go?
Yes. They stole our stuff.
Yeah.
Bastards
I
stole
would
my
like to
shoes.
offer Henri, you have the weapon. May I offer you my blade sand snake?
What is this? I mean, I will take anything.
I believe they call it scimitar.
Is that how what you do in wherever you're from is name your weapons? I mean, I will take
They
it.
name weapons all over the Empire. You'll see once you get a little bit older.
Well, thank you.
Ageist, I love it.
I'll hand Luther one of my daggers.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure I'll be very good with this.
Sticking with the pointing in, Luther.
Thank you.
We will go back the way we came.
Yes, let's. I'm sure the Dowie are waiting for us once we emerge from our tunnels here, and they will escort us to safety.
Yes. Of course.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Do you by chance
frankly,
leave
I'm
with our stuff? Was
What do
anybody
you
watching
mean?
our stuff? Our cart. The last time I remember, I fell into a pit and we had a cart. And I'm sure many of you attempted to rescue me, but were just unsuccessful with how quickly the goblins acted.
it was unfortunate. I tried my best. So did Nog. Um, last I saw, the cart was being devoured by moving mouths. Um,
Moving mouths.
yeah. I don't know if Luther would know what a squig is. I don't know how common they are, but
They're not. They're not uncommon.
okay.
They're common enough. They're a natural hazard of like
you would know.
mountains and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Squigs, I believe they're called. Um,
Mes
yes,
amis, let us go. We can
yes,
talk
yes,
about
Yes, of
stuff
course.
and carts and such once we are at the surface.
Yes.
it's gonna be nice to
After
be in the
you.
protection of those dwarves. You know,
As you
Luther's,
guys-
Luther's light gets a little brighter.
As you guys all say that, Wolfram, with his horribly failed survival roll, leans against the side of the cavern, letting out a sigh of relief. And as he does, it's almost like Temple of Doom. A little piece of the wall begins to shift behind him. You're like, huh? As you turn around, you watch as a large iron portcullis drops down, blocking your path of retreat. Just smatters down, boom, and just smacks into the cave, almost piercing Nog. He's able to like step away at the last moment as it shutters the way out.
Oh my gosh, that came out of nowhere. Be careful. How could that happen?
Well, I guess we're not going this way. There were multiple tunnels back the other way. Perhaps another one will lead to safety. There was an odd totem in the middle of one of them. Not sure what it means, but let's be careful.
All right. You guys begin to move back from whence Luther and Henry were discovered. As you move in that direction.
So I have time to try a quick heal test.
Yeah. Do you guys want to take some time to try to bind each other's wounds?
Gain some wounds.
I figure I could try.
Okay.
Can you do a heal test on yourself?
You can.
You can. Okay.
Mhm.
I believe I've seen Henry try heal, so I'm gonna try give Luther some healing.
Okay.
Oh yeah, do it.
Ooh, that's really good.
Very good.
That is one level of success.
All right. So is that 4 wounds?
That'd be 4 wounds.
4 wounds for Luther.
Thank
Do
you.
you want to try Henry? He hasn't been healed yet.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He's really fatigued, so I'll try it. Yeah.
Yeah. That has to be a
I'll try.
13.
Yeah, I'll try another one. Oh man.
Killing it today. Killing it at 6. My God.
Yep.
So how much is
3
that?
levels. 3 levels of success.
So six wounds,
wounds.
Henry. Man, you're feeling better. You know, Lucian's starting to attend to everybody. He's like a combat medic. He's just he's getting all of you up and running. I don't know if Wolfram needs any. I'm not sure.
I think I'm actually going to sit in pretty.
Yeah, I think you're doing.
Oh no, I definitely need some healing. Sorry.
Yeah, I thought he got hit by something.
Yeah, I got hit pretty hard. I definitely need some healing.
I believe a squig did try to eat him. So Lucian, if you want to give him a heal test, you can.
Oh my lord.
Oh,
3.
That
I don't know.
I think that's still 3.
Oh
yeah,
my.
it's still 3 levels of success. So 6 wounds.
So 6 wounds, Wolfram.
Right, I'm back at full health. Thank you.
Unfortunately, you've already given Nog some, and you cannot until your next rest. So, Nog, I'm sorry.
Still. Oh well. It's just a little loving here and there, huh?
I know. Yeah, exactly.
It's okay. It's all good.
So, Lucien attends to everyone. You guys take probably 20 or 30 minutes. It's going to take a while to see to everybody. As he begins to look everybody over, you guys resting near the large, rusted, nasty-looking portcullis. It looks extremely heavy. Nog probably could lift it if he was at his best. He's not looking too good. He's looking a little green. He's breathing shallowly, trying not to rattle his ribs around. And you guys could try to move it if you'd like. It can be difficult. But what would you guys like to do at this point?
So let's lift it or go back where Luther and Henry came from.
Yes.
Is that where your gear is?
They have no idea.
No idea.
They have no idea where any of their stuff is.
Well, if we can't lift this, Luther and myself did hear some music coming from another tunnel. I suggest we don't go back where Luther and I came from, because it was probably covered in goblins. So we could aim for this musical tunnel, or perhaps a team effort and we all try to lift this.
What kind of music?
I do not know. It was not an instrument that myself or Luther were aware of, and we know it was not yours. It did not sound like yours. We thought it might have been you.
Is that common
Seems got a
practice
tune.
among goblin culture to play musical instruments?
Culture is
I
a
don't
strong
know.
word.
Hey, would I have battled, being the oldest soldier, would I have battled gobos or orcs in the past? Because as a player, I know from reading books that
There's a
orcs
possibility.
and gobos will have drums and crazy horns and stuff like that.
There's a possibility you may have fought them before. Nog is the oldest one by far, just so you know, like by a long shot, and he also is very well traveled, a seasoned battlefield companion, one might say. But regardless, though, many cultures, well, I don't know if you consider goblins cultured in any way, but yes, it is not uncommon for them to have, what do they call them in armies? I can't remember the name. Little musician people. It's not uncommon. Pretty much every
Literally, I
army
think they're
has
called
one.
musicians.
Yeah, I think they're just called musicians.
I seem to recall that.
I don't believe we'll be able to lift this portcullis with Nog injured as he is. Henry seems to be tired as well. I'm not terribly strong myself. I suggest we backtrack and hopefully we don't run into too many goblins.
So, I'm assuming we're moving then.
Backtracking.
As
yes.
we begin to move forward, you venture down the shoddy tunnel until you come to the lone totem. You come to it, and you begin to look around hesitantly. We don't see anything strange. But you do begin to hear the subtle tones of the strange music coming down further from the further passage. As you move further down, this would be your right instead of going straight, which led back to the places where you were held captive. The music begins to grow slightly louder. It sounds like a stringed instrument of some kind. And this tunnel, as you move through it, you notice that there are flickering lights up ahead. More than likely firelight, or something close to it.
second sight. My second sight doesn't sense anything strange.
You don't pick up any bizarre changes in the winds. No.
Okay.
Are you guys moving forward?
Yeah, I
Okay.
believe so. Unless someone else.
The shoddy tunnel begins to open up. It begins to get slightly larger. As it does, you begin to notice that the tunnel looks more and more sturdy, more worked, as if skilled hands constructed this piece of tunnel. I don't know how much you guys would. No, none of you would be familiar. You would not. None of you would. Well, Luther, what city were you from again?
The future capital,
You were from
Altdorf.
From Altdorf, yeah. Luther, go ahead and give me I believe this is lore. Let me check. The one for researching like history and what stuff. It is,
Yeah, it's lore. There's a
lore.
bunch of different lores,
So
though, I think.
this will be a lore test, and you can give me a plus 20 to the roll if you don't have anything in lore, and
Okay.
I will reveal. Do you have any lore skills?
I have lore magic.
Yeah,
Lore.
So this wouldn't be magic. So just give me a straight lore test with a plus 20. Yes, Henry.
I have Lore Empire if it helps.
Lore Empire would also work as well. Have you visited any capital cities, Henry? In the Empire.
Henry is from near Carrollburg,
Okay.
so he may have visited Middenheim maybe once.
It would work. I'll allow the two of you to give me rolls then.
Okay.
If I get the plus 20, it would be 2 levels of success.
2 levels of success. I'm assuming, Henry, that's a fail for you.
Yes.
Okay. So, Luther, with more of an eye for detail, more or less, you're heavily unnerved being down here in the dark places. Your little torch flickering slightly. The ambiance of the area feels like it's changing. Feels like there's something happening. And you begin to kind of look at the stonework. And Luther, this is well worked, like beyond well worked. This is, and it reminds you of some of the more elaborate and old sections of Altdorf. Some of the first places that were constructed with the aids of Dowie hands. And you would recognize aspects of Dowie architecture in some of the worked places of this tunnel. Long untended and traversed by what is obviously goblin kind. But you still see remnants of what was once some kind of Dowie craftsmanship in the current tunnel that you guys are moving down.
Reminds me of Old Town in Altdorf. The dwarves are always so proud of their work. I dare say if Cragbender were to see this in such disrepair, he would throw quite the tantrum.
You think this is an old keep?
I do not know. My father told me that there are holds and cracks, stretched all over the world. Perhaps they have some in Araby as well. I do not know.
None of you are experts on dwarves, unfortunately.
No.
Not that this changes much. Maybe it does.
Yeah.
As you move forward, the music begins to get louder. And you hear sounds of cackling, and then you hear counting. 1, 2, 3. You, next number. That would be 4, sir. Yes, good. As you see that this tunnel, you're on like an upper section of what must have been at some point some kind of perhaps central location for either mining or some kind of marketplace. You're not exactly sure what the original purpose of this large space that you begin to enter into is. You see that there are multiple tunnels that funnel into this one section. Most of them appear to be boarded off or destroyed or collapsed in some way. Yours being one of the few that looks like it's somewhat intact. And you are 50 feet above the ground level. And it looks like this tunnel opens up, and it looks like at some point there was probably some kind of rail that would guard what goes from a tunnel to almost like a street pathway with the edge against one of the cavern walls, or worked walls at this point. At this point, you would notice that there are grooves that you could not tell in the previous tunnel. There are 2 side-by-side grooves in the passageway that you are currently walking on that go down and then kind of circle around, and it looks like this particular passageway turns into a branching path, one that will lead you down to the below, which we'll get to in a second, and one that will lead you deeper into the darkness, whatever's beyond. This room is alight with smoldering flames. As far as like braziers that have been placed at several points, there is a foul-smelling concoction wafting out of each brazier. The fire is a strange color, Luther. It's more of a like greenish, purplish color. It doesn't give off the same light that a regular flame does, but it still gives illumination. Down below, you guys are all kind of, I'm assuming you guys are kind of like creeping towards the edge at this point. You look down below, and you see below a collection of goblins, night goblins, with their black hoods over. Some of them, there are several large cobbled together tables that have been scrapped together and are at the bottom of what looks like some kind of feasting hall. There are remnants of spoils collected along the road that are being feasted upon by 20 or 30 little night goblos at these tables, savagely ripping into them, walking on tables, kicking food, bumping into each other. At one point, you see another gobbo gets his throat slit from another one that he accidentally bumps into. Savage creatures down there. All of this is happening. You see, as well, there is a massive pile of gold and jewels just about at what would be the equivalent of the head of the dining hall, and sitting upon it is a squat goblinoid creature with a massively tall pointy hat. So tall, in fact, that it is almost its length in height. Almost, if it was standing next to you, it would be as tall as a man with its pointy hat. As it's kind of sitting there, it's currently picking up individual gold coins, and it looks like it is the one currently counting. Beside the massive pile of shinies, there is a what would only be described as a enormous cave squig. Huge. and it looks like it's currently sleeping, just kind of resting near the pile of shinies, and the small goblin just kind of, its large tongue just smattering on the ground, almost looks like an unrolled carpet that is just like draping out of its mouth, wet and slick. And as it breathes, the kind of like orb structure of its body kind of like inflates and deflates like a balloon slightly. As you see that there are two other individuals down in the hall. They look like humans. One of them currently has a poorly mended together violin that he is currently attempting to play for the feast. And you see him just shaking his head. You see one of the goblins throw some shit at him, smack him across the face. He kind of like pushes it to the side. One of the other humans is over by the pile of shinies, and he has it looks like pieces of like stationery that somebody smeared something across, and he's currently trying to write with a small quill that he's found somewhere, and he's recording something for the warlord who is sitting at the pile of shinies. Henry, you recognize both of the humans down below. One of them, the one currently playing the violin, is in fact a Night Panther, one that was missing from the expedition. In fact, he goes by the name of Henri. And the one helping count the warlord's pile of shinies is his squire. And they are currently down below. What would you guys like to do?
I know those two men. One of them's a knight, and that's his squire there with him.
Should we attack to try and rescue them?
We must, but we are in no fit for any type of combat. Needs to be a smash and grab. Is your gun loaded, Wolfram?
It is. Are the gobbles? Are they kind of clustered together a little bit? Any of them?
There's a bunch of them down there. Yeah.
Okay.
Luther, you're familiar with fire. Why is this fire not red?
Does Luther know, or is it just...
Luther, you're looking at it, and you see the smoke is rising, billowing up towards all of you. Is at this point I would like all of you to go ahead and give me cool tests.
Oh, shit.
How cool can we be?
Yeah.
Not very.
Let's see.
Might have to re-roll that one.
Oh, that's gonna suck. Yeah, that is
Be praised.
2 levels of failure for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
that's 2 levels of failure for me too.
So Lucian
Failure.
passed remarkably with a 6. I don't know what's going on over there.
I am.
Henry passed as well.
Re-rolled
Oh, Luther. What did you get, Luther?
36.
So how many
I passed.
degrees? Just one.
One success.
A degree of success. I'm assuming
An
both
actual, yeah.
Nog and Wolfram failed their cool tests.
Yes,
Okay.
I totally failed.
Okay. So both Nog and Wolfram begin to feel slightly dizzy for a moment. And at this point, as both of you kind of like touch your heads, Henry, Luther, and Lucien, you all three of you begin to kind of cough slightly. Nog
We all do what?
I said the other three, Lucien, Henry, and Luther, begin to cough.
Yes.
The other two that failed, you watch as your companions' faces begin to stretch. Their jaws begin to
shit.
lengthen.
Oh.
And their skin begins to wave like this. And suddenly there's an array of strange colors dazzling around you as you are subject to a strange, one might say, hallucinogenic compound that the night goblins are utilizing in their feast.
It seems almost like you're using my personal experience today. as part of me.
So the two of you are currently like, oh, and you will be somewhat, let's just call it disadvantaged for quite some time.
That's a point of view.
So the rest of you, as you recover, you do not succumb. Your mind is able to shield yourself from whatever this compound is. As that happens, I'm going to need everybody to roll me stealth checks.
Oh wow! So
Nog and Wolf
those of us
have
tripping at a disadvantage.
You have a minus 20 to your rolls.
A stealth roll at minus 20.
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just gonna roll all single digits.
I
tonight.
know you are. I don't know what's going on over there.
I can't fucking believe it.
Hey, it happens. Nog with a 10.
It's a 10 under a 14.
He passed. Hey,
I'm apparently enjoying the trip because I'm like making some noise or something because I failed that by
so
7 levels.
Henry, did you fail? Yes, you did.
Yes, I re-rolled to avoid critically failing.
I would have preferred the critical fail. That's okay. So both Henry and Wolfram fail. Luther, did you pass? Yes.
No, Luther failed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he failed by.
Okay, the only one who passed was Nog and Lucien, strangely enough. Nog begins to like, oh, and Lucien, you kind of move over to him. You're like, no, big man, what is going on? While
Yeah,
Wolfram's
brother.
like, oh.
Yeah, okay.
And Wolfram begins
Everything
to
is
like,
cool.
he's getting a little woozy. He's got his big gun in his hand, like this. And then Henry and Luther like move. It's okay. You begin to move towards him. As you do, you watch as as two goblins walk out of just an alcove in the wall that you guys cannot see from the angle you're coming from. They walk out. They each have a bottle of some foul-smelling liquid. As they come out, they turn and they go, ah! And they look at the all of you. And that's where we're going to take our first break.